I want to be a filmmaker, you want to be a filmmaker, let's talk about it. So for this week, I thought we would start up a 3-week series about the 3 different stages of producing a movie or a short film or a feature or whatever you're doing. You have pre-production, production, and post-production. So this week, we're going to start with the first stage, pre-production. So pre-production is the longest usually of all the 3 stages, and to me it's the least fun. For me, pre-production usually consists of writing, storyboarding, shot listing, script breakdown, like stuff like budgeting, planning, prop gathering, just all the kind of boring stuff that's not a lot of fun. Scheduling, equipment check, table read, pre-visualization's fun, but that's kind of all the different things that I usually have to do when I go into pre-production. So I'm just gonna run through those different aspects real quick. Writing, it's pretty straightforward, just getting out of a first draft and then revising it and changing it and having people read it and adjusting things. So it's pretty straightforward. So writing is usually what I have to do first. Then usually I'll do a storyboard. Storyboarding is when you just kind of draw out how you want the shots to look in the final product. Recently I've stopped storyboarding as much, and I've realized it's given me a lot of freedom and like creativity to just kind of like do whatever when we're shooting. So you don't have to storyboard, but I usually do. So that's, one of the other steps that I have to worry about in pre-production. So then next, usually I will do a script breakdown, and basically all you do for that, what I do at least, is I go through the script, and with different colored highlighters, I just will highlight all the different aspects that we need to make sure we have for everything to work. So like I'll highlight all the visual effects in blue, all the sound design in green, all the props in purple, things like that, where it's all broken down so that I make sure I've got everything that I need, so that while we're shooting, I'm not like losing my mind trying to figure out if we have everything or not. So then like everything that comes after that portion in pre-production is all based on that script breakdown, so it's really, really important. And then shot listing is what you do for shot listing. At least what I do is I just run through the script and pick out shot by shot how I want each of them to look. If I want it to be a wide shot, a medium shot, a close up, whatever. Just like close up, the pen picks it up, wide shot, writing with the pen, stuff like that. Really kind of boring stuff, but it's stuff that you need to have so that while you're shooting you have kind of a reference, and you can get it from all different angles and whatever. But like if you don't have that, then it's going to be hard to kind of like get what you need on the day. So it really streamlines everything and it makes it a lot smoother. And then the next portion, I kind of lump it all together. Just like planning, budgeting, prop gathering, and like just things like that are really, really not fun, but they're super necessary and like vital to the rest of the production. Budgeting usually consists of me just like dedicating a paycheck to like props or something, but if I were ever to get to like a bigger production, it would be a lot more stressful, and like dealing with budgeting is like, it kind of sucks like a lot. Prop gathering is also really kind of terrifying because trying to figure out like, all right, you need like a salt shaker and like what would be on the table for at like a restaurant or whatever. So like stuff like that, like really small things, that's more set design. And like since I'm a one man band, like that kind of falls under the same category, and it's just super stressful making sure all those things are in place. And then scheduling is the next thing. Scheduling is really also stressful, but it's more of just sitting down and making a bunch of phone calls, trying to figure out if everyone can be here at a certain time. The hardest part of it is like making sure people don't have conflicting schedules, and if they do, if they can be flexible within stuff, and just making sure that like all the crew members and the cast members are all going to be free for the day of shooting. So things like that are you have to do them because there's no way around it, because if you don't, then you won't have a movie. Next, usually what I'll do before actually shooting is just do like an equipment check. Usually that just means I'll just run through all my stuff and make sure my camera lens is clean and that all my batteries are charged and my SD cards are empty. and that none of my light bulbs are broken for my lights, that my audio equipment's working, and just things like that, just to make sure that there's no like unforeseen complications on the day of shooting. Then I'll usually try and get some kind of a table read going. This doesn't always work out because of schedules, and it's not necessary as far as like vital to the production of the movie. But like if you can get a table read, that's pretty awesome. Just having everybody come in and just read through the script, and so just so the actors can kind of like feel what it's like to be that character and say the lines, so it's more smooth and they have more to like work with. They kind of have like a base when you're shooting, so they have a little more freedom. But it's fun doing a table read because you kind of see your script coming together and the movie forming, so it's really cool. But I don't always have a chance to do it, but when I do, it's really fun. And finally, last stage of pre-production, I will usually try and do some kind of pre-visualization where, especially if it's an action video, where we try and like run through the fight scenes and just make sure that like all of it's possible and that we can actually do it and pull it off. So with big like fight set pieces, it's really vital and really necessary. With smaller things where people are just walking around talking, or not even walking, just sitting, that's just blocking and just kind of like telling them like, okay, you're gonna pick up your glass and take a drink or whatever, and it's not as like intensive. But with action videos, it's really kind of like over the top, and you got to make sure you have everything down, and just doing that makes everything a lot simpler on the day of shooting. So it's really that part's really fun, I think, but it's really necessary. So yeah, it's a lot of fun though. So yeah, so these are my main things that I do for pre-production. Next week we'll be going over production, and the week after post-production, and then the week after that I'll be putting up the video that I've been talking about as we go through all of these. Pre-production's super important because it kind of keeps you from losing your mind while you're on set, and some of it, if you don't do it, you won't have a movie at all. So yeah, so it's super important, but and sometimes it's boring, but sometimes it's fun. It's kind of just a roller coaster. And if you like what you saw here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. This has been a Runaway Brain production, and I'll see you guys next time.